Well, hello everyone. TheOntarioGardener here, back with another modded PlateUp automation tutorial. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about chocolate pies. Or I guess the real name would be chocolate pudding pie. But, same difference. Granted, if this was something in real life, I would love this, by the way. So it's pretty straightforward. This is a modded dish. It was just recently released to the Steam Workshop. And it's pretty straightforward, honestly. It's made similar to how like a pumpkin pie or an apple pie or a cherry pie are made, in the sense of not so much apple pie, but like the cherry pie, you have to cook it twice. But you don't really have to cook it twice. You just have to add the chocolate bits after the crust is cooked. So it's a bit different. But this is a very if you get rid of this is a very compact automation. Now, you may say, what about heated mixers? And the answer is yes. You could use heated mixers. They are slow. I will show you that when we're finished with this little demonstration. I'm going to get it going right now, and I will show you how to use heated mixers, which makes this much more compact, because you're basically eliminating these two mixers in lieu of one, and you're getting rid of the safety hub. Now, the only issue is that heated mixers are very slow. Like over here, to cook the chocolate, it's very easy. It chops the chocolate and it cooks it in its own little kind of thing here. As you see here, what happens is, there you go. And the way that, the mixture, a conveyor mixture keeps up just about with the safety hob, it combines it and then it mixes it. So it may look like it's finished when it hits here, but you get this little whipped cream on the top that shows, watch here, ready, and boom, real super quick. So it's very, very quick, but you need to have a mixer here to do this action. Now you say, okay, well, can you just combine all this into a heated mixer? The answer is yes, you can, but it's very, very slow. But then again, this is a dessert. So depending on how many you're going through. Now again, if you have say you have 15 groups and they're all ordering dessert, you're going to pull more than 4. Like, there's one table, and I can't grab them. One table, there's 2 tables, etc., etc., etc. So you can go through them pretty quickly. And these, like the other dessert pies, they don't get put on a plate. Like I'm trying to activate on a plate, you can't put these onto a plate. They work like the other dessert pies, like the pumpkin, the apple, and the cherry, that don't require plates. I was going to clean my messes, by the way. So there you go. This is this automation. Like, this is what I would recommend, because it's faster. It's just a matter. But again, if you have 2 frozen prep stations full of these, then by all means go the heated mixer route, which we're going to demonstrate right now. It's a little bit different. You're basically getting rid of a bunch of things, and it doesn't make the footprint that much smaller, really. But basically, you're transforming. Let's see, let's get a regular grabber here. And I'm not going to make this too compact here. I'm going to get rid of some things to show you how it would work. You basically would get rid of this one, and you would set this would go here, this would go here. And you may say, well, isn't this going to push through onto this grabber? No, it doesn't really work that way, because the chocolate will be waiting here all the time. Could you make this more compact by, I guess, doing something like this? I have one here. Let me just show you how this one would work. Again, this would condense it down into a 4x2. Again, because these are optional, these 2, but I highly recommend it. So let's just move these out of the way, out of the frame, and I'm going to load this one up, and I can show you exactly how this one works. This is using 2 heated mixers, because you do need to have 2. You need to have 2 heat sources, I should say. This is cooking. Will cook, and then of course it'll. This grabber isn't going to grab this because it has to finish the action that is presented to it. That's just how grabbers work. And as soon as this combiner is going to combine with this, again, this is very, very slow. You can see it's very, very slow, but there you go. So basically, this mixer is kneading the dough. It's making the pie crust. It's cooking the pie crust. It's then accepting the chocolate, and then it's then kneading it into a finished product. So you can see how much slower this is. And if you have a lot of desserts, now again, it depends. If you have a starter and a bunch of mains, you have a bunch of customers, this will back up, especially if you're using a frozen prep station, or even you could put 2. You put 1 here. Again, you could put this going up to 1 here, and then it goes. You could easily configure 2 frozen prep stations for here without question. But the problem is this going to be fast enough for you? It's a lot more compact. It's a 4x2. It's basically 8 squares compared to the other one that was 9 or 12 squares, something like that. So it's a lot less resource heavy, especially since mixers cycle. You can cycle through to get the mixers you want. You need 2 heated mixers. You can't do everything on one mixer, because it doesn't. You can either do the crust or you can do the chocolate. You can't do both on the same mixer. It doesn't work that way. It only accepts one thing. It's because you have to cook and chop the chocolate. As you see here, it chops it super quickly. It heats it even faster, which you would expect. And there you go. All right, guys. So it's pretty straightforward here. Which method would you choose? It depends. If you don't have a lot of customers, you don't have, say, something like double helpings or all you can eat or something like that. This, you may be able to get away with this, at least to start, because you can start with this with very few materials. And like I said, is if you need to have more than this, you can expand on this. You don't have to get rid of this mixer. You can expand to a safety hob. You can use a smart grabber, just pulling the crust off of here, etc., etc. So you can. This is a bit of a modular design. You can make it to what fits you guys. All right, let's get out of practice mode here. And there you go. So either the way in the beginning or the way right here, both ways are both very, very feasible. This is the last way here is more compact, but it is very, very. It's about a quarter of the speed because the safety hob is 0.75 and a heated mixer is 0.2, or excuse me, 0.4. So it's about half the speed. Compared to the other method. Plus, this is doing everything. It's doing the cooking, it's doing the heating, doing the combining, doing the mixing. So if you split that up into two different ones, it would work out. Now, like I said, you could easily do something like this. You could put this here, and you could put this like this, and you could have this going like this. So this one's going to be actually making the pie crust itself. This one here is only going to be cooking it. But again, whatever materials you have on hand, whatever appliances you have, you can. This is a very, very, build it as you see fit. Basically, this part here has to be here. You have to have a mixer at the end and then going into some sort of prep station. I highly, highly recommend. Otherwise, it's going to be way too slow. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider leaving me a like as well as a comment. Are you going to add chocolate pudding pies to your recipe or to your game? It's pretty cool. I like it. It's another dessert pie. We have a lot of dessert pies now. We have 4. So we're getting up there. All right, guys, if you enjoyed enjoying these automation videos, hit that subscribe button. It really help out my channel. And I'll catch you guys in the next PlateUp modded or unmodded, or I guess it'd be vanilla, automation tutorial. Take care now.